Just like with every major WWE pay-per-view event, there is always an NXT Takeover event to go along with it. The only difference is this time, NXT goes global. How's it going, everybody? My name is Brandon Duchair Craven, and this is the official Rollin' Wrestling Review Show here on YouTube. And this is the official Rollin' Wrestling Review of NXT Takeover Toronto. Without further ado, there was no pre-show, so let's get right to the main card. The only matches on the card this time around, there were not very many matches, which was very, very surprising. But the first match on the card was the glorious one, Bobby Roode versus the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Once again, an absolutely glorious entrance by the glorious one, Bobby Roode, with a choir singing his entrance, plus the thousands of fans in attendance. They know his entrance music. It's almost like they went on YouTube and watched it. Because you can. Anyway, really great opening matchup. Honestly, I almost forgot to write a review of this match because that's how enthralled I was with it. It was just a really, really good back and forth match. The crowd was behind both superstars because they were both the hometown hero, and there was really no favorite in this match. Your winner after an Impaler DDT, the glorious one, Bobby Roode. Now, overall, I give this match, which was a great opening match, a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next match on the card, the Authors of Pain versus TM61 in the Dusty Rhodes Classic Tournament Finals, with Paul Ellering of the Authors of Pain being suspended above the ring in a shark cage. It's been a long time since you've seen one of those matches, and I think Paul Ellering was involved in the last one. I think they said it was in Atlanta back in the old NWA days. So that was really cool. Right off the bat, Shane Thorne of TM61 dove off the shark cage crane onto the Authors of Pain. Huge spot, huge move. Classic tag team match. You've got David versus Goliath type of matchup. A weird finish with a steel chain coming into play, but it was thrown into the crowd. I think Paul Ellering dropped it from the cage. It was just a weird sequence. It happened so quick, honestly. It was a blink and you miss it type of moment. And with the last chapter finisher, your winners of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the Authors of Pain. Good overall tag team match. Overall, 3 out of 5 stars. Up next, another great tag team match. 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT Tag Team titles. DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Revival. It was absolutely fantastic. Another classic tag team match. Great back and forth the entire time. The Revival paid homage to the hometown heroes of the Hart Foundation with pink and black trunks, even though the Revival were the heel tag team during this match. The winners of the first fall after a Shatter Machine was the Revival. DIY got the second fall, and we are in sudden death for the final and third fall. With a double submission, your winners of the third and final fall and new NXT Tag Team Champions, DIY. Congratulations, DIY. Absolutely great matchup. 4 out of 5 stars. Fantastic match. It was at this point that they cut into the crowd, and one of, if not the best announcer, was in the house on Saturday night. Good old JR Jim Ross. Now, back to the matches. For the NXT Women's Championship, the current champion, Asuka, took on the returning Mickie James. Out first is the challenger, Mickie James, and she looked absolutely fantastic. She was one of my major crushes back in the Attitude Era days, and even onward when she was there, she was just one of my major crushes. But she looked absolutely fantastic. It looked like she hadn't missed a day of wrestling in her life. Out next, the champion, Asuka. Now, the thing is here is that the crowd really didn't seem that into it. because I don't know if the mics were dead in the crowd. I don't know what was going on. There were a lot of Asuka mask in the first row, but it was almost like the crowd was completely dead during the entrances. I don't know if the music was too loud. I just don't know. But they did get into it early, and it was pretty split down the middle. Huge ankle lock German suplex combo by Asuka onto the outside to Mickie James. After a great match by both women, your winner and still NXT champion, Asuka. Now, honestly, I didn't expect Mickie to win. She was probably just brought in to help Asuka get some more legitimacy because since the days of Nia Jackson Bayley, Asuka really hasn't faced a lot of noteworthy superstars. And so, Mickie James was probably just brought in to help her out and just kind of help her, get some legitimacy to her title run. But anyway, after the match, when Mickie James offered her hand for a handshake, Asuka raised her title and walked away. I think this is a great opportunity to turn Asuka heel. I think Asuka would make a really good heel. Rating for this match, overall, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next up, and your main event of the evening, the NXT Championship was on the line as the challenger Samoa Joe looked to regain what he claimed was rightfully his in the NXT title versus the current champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Out first, the challenger Samoa Joe. Can he regain the NXT title and be the first ever two-time NXT champion? Or out next was the reigning NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Would his legacy continue? Shinsuke, really, really cool entrance for him by a group of violinists this time, and it was just really cool. You could tell that the music was probably recorded, but they were just all feeding off each other. It was just really, really cool. This match was everything it led up to be. Hard-hitting, methodical. Joe was dominant of the champion early on. Huge German suplex by Nakamura onto Joe. Look, Joe's a big guy, okay? And for Shinsuke to just throw him over his back like that was just crazy. Joe was too much. However, he was just too much to handle. And after using a low kick to set up the muscle buster, your winner and new NXT champion, Samoa Joe, he is now the first ever two-time NXT champion. And this was after he kicked out of the Kinshasa too. So that was really, really cool to see. And I mean, he was just dominant throughout this match. Rating, outstanding match overall, 4 out of 5 stars. Fantastic match. Now, let's check out my match of the night. My match of the night has to be a split in this one. It goes to the NXT title match, plus it also has to go to the 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Tag Team titles. Congratulations to both the new champions, Tommaso and Gargano, and also Samoa Joe. Congratulations to both of those guys, to all those guys. Overall, I'm going to give this takeover a 4 out of 5 stars. Great pay-per-view, and it absolutely lived up to the last NXT TakeOver event, which was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. It absolutely lived up to that one. They always seem to up the bar every single time they come out. And it was a huge bar to overcome as well. Let me know what you thought of the NXT TakeOver event in the comments below. And that's going to do it for my review of NXT TakeOver Toronto. Check back here in just a little bit for my review of WWE Survivor Series, and honestly, it was a fantastic pay-per-view. Shocking main event ending, absolutely big shocker. You do not want to miss it. That was my original point. You do not want to miss that review. And as always, let me know what you thought of this review and what you thought of NXT TakeOver Toronto and your thoughts on this channel in the comments below. And coming up here in probably just a few days, it'll probably be after the Thanksgiving holiday, is going to be another YouTube subscriber challenge. We did not meet the goal once again this time around, but I'm going to keep shooting for that 30 member subscriber goal, and I promise that will be out here soon. Until then, God bless you. My name is Brandon Duchair Craven. I'm down for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. I will see y'all next time right here on the Rolling Wrestling Review YouTube channel. See you later, everybody.